it took 8 months to come together, nearly 4 hours to present tonight what Michael Gableman suggests lawmakers do about elections and why at least one Republican is calling it a, quote, fool's errand.
Also, we're a few hours away from one of the biggest speeches of President Biden's tenure. What to expect from the State of the Union address as war weighs heavy.
Not without a fight, the people of Ukraine ratchet up defense of their country as accusations of war crimes appear. You're watching News 3 now at 5.
We start tonight with breaking news. Within the past half hour, Major League Baseball owners have canceled opening day.
MLB Commissioner Rob Manfred announced the cancellation after the league imposed deadline to reach a deal during talks down in Florida passed without an agreement. The Major League Baseball Players Association rejected what the league called its best offer today. The Brewers were scheduled to host the Diamondbacks March 31st at American Family Field. That entire series has now been canceled, as well as the team's second scheduled series at home against the San Francisco Giants, and the fate of future games are also now in doubt. President Biden will give his first State of the Union address tonight.
There is no doubt a major topic will be the Russian invasion of Ukraine. Other topics may include rising inflation and the pandemic.
Natalie Brand shares a preview as Capitol Hill police ramp up security efforts as they brace for protests.
The crisis in Ukraine looms large over President Biden's first State of the Union speech, and it's the top issue on people's minds, according to a new CBS News poll.
He will definitely spend time in the speech talking about the conflict in Ukraine, his efforts to rally the world.
The White House says in tonight's speech, the president will lay out efforts he's taken with U.S. allies to stand up against Russia's aggression, including punishing economic sanctions and efforts to keep them from impacting American consumers. Lawmakers are also hoping to hear more about the administration's push for more than $6 billion in additional aid to Ukraine, as the country's leaders say they need more weapons.
I'm suggesting it should go up by $1 billion more on each side, humanitarian and military, and end up being about $8 billion.
Fences have once again gone up around the Capitol ahead of this speech with threats of a trucker protest. Hundreds of National Guard are also on standby. With the economy and inflation as the other top issues Americans polled want to hear about, President Biden is expected to make yet another pitch for key pieces of his stalled Build Back Better plan, including an expanded child tax credit and a $15 minimum wage.
They're paying more for gas. There's a tax on every American with the inflation.
Senior administration officials say the president will announce a unity agenda of policy areas that could garner bipartisan support, including mental health. After the address, Iowa Governor Kim Reynolds will deliver the Republican response. Natalie Brandt, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
Way back when.
The administration's effort to fight the pandemic is also expected to be a big topic tonight. Masks will be optional during the address, and members attending are required to take a COVID test. News 3 Now this morning spoke with Dr. Maurice Shepard, a political science professor at Madison College, who shared his thoughts on what President Biden might say about the conflict in Ukraine.
He has to address this as commander-in-chief. One, to look out for the interests of the United States, first and foremost. But second, being, once again, the President of the United States, he also takes a leadership position in global politics, international politics. So I expect that during the State of the Union, for President Biden, he touts himself as sort of a straight shooter. I think he'll be honest with the American people and point out that, one, that the Russian invasion of Ukraine is a serious matter, and two, it will have negative impact, some negative impact on Americans and their lives.
The Democratic Party of Wisconsin held a press conference today to speak about the president's address. Speakers, including Madison Mayor Satya Rhodes Conway, celebrated the progress the Biden-Harris administration has made. And they also called out U.S. Senator Ron Johnson of Wisconsin and other Republican lawmakers who have tried to block the president's efforts to cut taxes, lower costs, and deliver funding for Wisconsin infrastructure projects.
President Biden has a vision for the economy that grows from the bottom up and the middle out. This vision rests on two pillars: making more in America and lowering costs for American families. In passing historic legislation like the American Rescue Plan Act and the Bipartisan Infrastructure Law, President Biden and congressional Democrats are working to make this vision a reality.
The Republican National Committee held a Zoom meeting today with Congressman Tom Tiffany and congressional candidate Derek Van Orden to preview the president's address. And they say President Biden doesn't have much to brag about over his first year in office.
You look at the performance on the border. We've had over 2 million encounters in the last 13 months or so. That's the highest it's ever been in the history of the United States. We have the highest murder rate since the FBI started recording this. And none of this was like this 1 year, 1 month, and 10 days ago. So the Biden administration, I'm not sure what he's going to say tonight, but he really doesn't have that much to brag about.
You can watch the State of the Union address live right here on News 3 or stream it on channel3000.com. It begins at 8 o'clock. CBS will have live coverage before and after the address. The GOP's choice for running yet another 2020 election investigation is now publicly calling for what Wisconsin Republican leaders have said is legally impossible.
In hours of testimony today, Michael Gableman called for the legislature to look at decertifying the 2020 election. Naomi Coles is at the Capitol with more. Naomi?
To be clear, it is nonpartisan attorneys who work for the state who say there is no legal mechanism in Wisconsin law for decertifying the election. Nevertheless, it was still one of Michael Gableman's headlining recommendations to encourage the legislature to decertify the results in Wisconsin. He drew major blowback from Democrats and Republican Assembly Majority Leader Jim Steineke, who tweeted it was a, quote, fool's errand. Gableman insisted the legislature should find a way to do it.
The legislature ought to take a very hard look at the option of decertification of the 2020 Wisconsin presidential election.
I agree with Jim Steineke. We cannot have the legislature coming in and supplanting its will for the will of the voters after the voters have cast their ballots.
Gableman also called for partisans to take over certifying the state's electors, drawing major blowback from the Wisconsin Elections Commission chair, who called the recommendation shocking. And Steineke said it would be the end of the republic as we know it. Now, Gableman wouldn't directly respond during the hearing to a question about whether he has an active contract with the legislature to keep doing this work. That contract expired at the end of December. He still sees it as active, and he says that he's talking with Assembly Speaker Robin Vos about a contract extension to keep doing this. More on this tonight at 6 o'clock and online at channel3000.com.
We will see you at 6. Naomi, thank you. Attorney General Josh Kaul released a statement about Gableman's report. He said in part the report is an attack on our democracy and a truly shocking example of the authoritarian mindset at work, and includes recommendations that would restrict access to voting. Kaul also said the Vos-Gableman investigation will be remembered as a shameful, deeply embarrassing episode for the state legislature.
Oh, pretty nice Tuesday out there. Let's get a look at your certified most accurate forecast. Gary's on the weather patio.
And without a jacket, too. Temperatures are in the 40s out here. We've got a little more cloud cover now, and we could see some light precipitation tonight. But a visible cloud track, really just some high mid-level clouds coming in from the west. You can see on Doppler track, there might be a sprinkle or two in a spot, but for the most part, we'll just see some drizzle, some freezing drizzle, or even a couple of flurries overnight. Low temperatures this morning started out above freezing. We're in the mid-30s in Madison. High temperatures so far have been in the upper 40s and some lower 50s over southwestern Wisconsin. Right now, temperatures have fallen back into the mid to upper 40s most areas. A few places are in the 30s closer to Lake Michigan. By morning, we'll drop below freezing. And again, there could be a few flurries or some patchy freezing drizzle into early tomorrow morning, and a chance of a rain shower during the day tomorrow with a high of 43. Later on, I'll take a look at another warm-up as we head into the weekend that could even bring some thunderstorms.
All right, Gary, we'll check back in just a little bit. There were 2 more threats placed at Madison Memorial High School today. They came after a bomb threat yesterday led to an hours-long evacuation at the high school and nearby Jefferson Middle School. The district says someone called 911 this morning to report that someone had a gun at Memorial. Students were held in their classrooms, but no gun was found. Then this afternoon, someone called to say a person had bombs in the school parking lot. Madison police searched the lot with dogs and found no evidence of bombs.
The fact that these threats, all similar in nature, are turning out to be unsubstantiated are not only a tremendous strain on our first responder resources, but it's also causing learning loss for those students in both Jefferson and Madison Memorial. And that's just absolutely unacceptable.
That's District Spokesman Tim Lamons. He says they're working with police to figure out who has called in these threats, and they say they could face district and legal punishment. Lamons thanked students and staff for following instructions and for making a textbook response. The United Nations Refugee Agency says the situation in Ukraine could become Europe's largest refugee crisis this century.
And the U.S. Secretary of State says Russia has killed Ukrainian civilians and has hit schools, hospitals, and homes. Emily Schmidt reports on this 6th day of attacks.
This is just one moment, but it shows how Ukrainians, some wrapped in flags, all driven to defend, responded when they saw a Russian vehicle approach.
We are fighting for our rights, for our freedoms, for life, for our life, and now we're fighting for survival.
The UN estimates at least 102 civilians have died so far. That figure likely underestimates the true toll. Ukraine's president accuses Russia of war crimes, which the Kremlin rejects, for bombing the city of Kharkiv. This video shows a government building destroyed after a military strike. A voice on the video says there are many injured I can't see. The Russian military warns of more attacks. Satellite images from late Monday show a 40-mile-long Russian convoy approaching Ukraine's capital. The U.S. Secretary of State floated the idea Tuesday of kicking Russia off the UN Human Rights Council.
These are the human rights abuses this council was created to stop. If we cannot come together now, when will we come together?
An update on this moment. Ukrainians fought. Eventually, the Russian vehicle surged forward into a country where it is unwanted, but still undeterred. I'm Emily Schmidt reporting.
Russia's defense minister says it'll continue its Ukraine operation until its goals are achieved. Russian state media says a second round of talks between delegations from Ukraine and Russia is expected to take place tomorrow.
While governments may be reluctant to send in troops to Ukraine, volunteers are not hesitating. Men from Great Britain and the U.S. are among those answering President Zelensky's call for foreign fighters to join the war against Russia. One former U.S. soldier flew to Ukraine to volunteer for the fight.
So I was on a contract in the Middle East, and I saw what was happening, so I'm like, screw it, let's go.
Britain's defense secretary says only trained and experienced fighters should even consider going to Ukraine. He says for everyone else, there are humanitarian ways to help.
And with all that's unfolding in Ukraine right now, new information is coming in constantly. It's being updated in a special section at channel3000.com. You can find that section right now on the homepage. Just scroll down to Crisis in Ukraine. You'll also find a page with information on how you can help the people of Ukraine. Next at 5, a very different look at Mardi Gras in the Big Easy today.
How things have changed from the past 2 celebrations in New Orleans. We'll check in on the celebration. And later, some local students are exploring the depths of Lake Mendota. A closer look at what they'll discover coming up at 6.
And the Dow has its second worst day of the year, down almost 600 points. The NASDAQ took a 219-point hit. The S&P lost 68. We'll be right back.
When it's time for better storage, check out Dakota Shelving and Organizers at Menards. We have a great selection of decorative shelving for your living areas, functional shelving for your closets, kitchen, laundry, and office, plus much more to keep your clothing, household items, decor, and ducks in a row. Save 11% on all Dakota Shelving and Organizers at Menards.
Save big money at Menards.
An iCare benefit card helps our members access even more. This includes a monthly allowance for OTC items and healthy food purchases. Plus, earn more with healthy rewards. Rest easy. iCare is looking out for you and your health.
Instead of being impartial, media outlets have become advocates for the Democrat Party. They got Joe Biden, who campaigned from his basement, elected president. Now they're covering up the disasters his policies created by attacking and censoring anyone who exposes the failures. But they can't hide inflation, higher gas prices, and rising crime from the people devastated by them. I'm Ron Johnson, and I approve this message. I will continue to ask questions and uncover the truth.
At ADP, we understand business today looks nothing like it did yesterday. While it's more unpredictable, its possibilities are endless. From paying your people from anywhere to supporting your talent everywhere. We use data-driven insights to design HR solutions and services to help businesses of all sizes work smarter today so they can have more success tomorrow.
At Affordable Dentures and Implants, that moment when we see a patient smile is everything to us. So whether it's a single tooth, full dentures, or dental implants, we're here to help you. Go ahead and smile.
Go ahead and smile. Go ahead and smile. Go ahead and smile.
A truck ran a red light and slammed into Liz's car.
As soon as we got out of the hospital, we called Gruber Law Offices immediately.
One call, that's all.
They were phenomenal. They got our life back on track, and I couldn't be any more happier.
Former State Supreme Court Justice Michael Gableman presents his findings on the 2020 election today. Find out what he had to say and how state lawmakers are reacting.
Also, we'll show you what a group of students discovered beneath the waters of Lake Mendota tonight at 6.
News 3 Now's Call for Action team advocates for you, asking the right questions.
Yeah. You hope to make that right.
And getting results.
They sent a water heater the next day after you made the call.
Call for Action, only on News 3 Now.
You're watching News 3 Now at 5.
Today is Fat Tuesday, and Mardi Gras celebrations are back in New Orleans after last year's hiatus because of the pandemic.
Chris Van Cleve tells us while COVID cases are down, precautions are still being taken.
The good times are rolling down the streets of New Orleans.
It's back. Life is back. Everybody's having a good time. I mean, it's back.
An estimated 1.4 million people have converged on the Big Easy for Mardi Gras' boisterous return, with parades in full swing after last year's COVID cancellation and 2020 turning into an unwitting super spreader.
You know how bad glitter is when it gets on you and how hard it is to get off? That was the coronavirus during Mardi Gras a couple of years ago.
Dr. Corey Hebert is a physician and part of the famed Zulu crew, which lost at least 17 members to COVID after 2020's Mardi Gras.
We have had to bounce back, and we knew we would. And this is a time where you have to kind of move forward or be stagnant.
Mardi Gras at its core is a giant street party. It's bringing people together. There are some restrictions in place, though. If you go into a restaurant or a store, you're supposed to wear a mask and show proof of vaccination. We found enforcement to be spotty, and of course, no one outside is wearing a mask. In addition to COVID, New Orleans is also battling a surge in violent crime. Murders, shootings, carjackings, and armed robberies are all up, while the city's police staffing is at a 50-year low.
Because
Mayor LaToya Cantrell pointed to a backlog in the courts.
The criminal justice system as a whole is not functioning adequately, which has an impact on public safety.
Awesome. Businesses are hoping to safely reap the benefits of the extra foot traffic, which could add $1 billion to the local economy. Chris Van Cleve, CBS News, New Orleans.
Hotel occupancy in the Big Easy is at about 90%. That's up from 30% just last year.
Today marks a special day to give back to your community. The Big Share is an online day of giving organized by Community Shares of Wisconsin, or CWC, and focused on social and environmental justice. It's meant to be a fun, easy, and flexible way to donate and also learn more about organizations making a difference in our community. Right now, there's an online telethon at thebigshare.org. Big Share Live will close the night with a special online performance by the Tony Castaneda, the Latin jazz band, live from the Dark Horse Art Bar.
Today is the first day of the World Championship Cheese Contest at Monona Terrace. The event is hosted every other year by the Wisconsin Cheesemakers Association. It runs through Thursday. Now, normally the public is welcome, but this year attendance is limited only to judges and volunteers. The contest has recently been dominated by foreign cheeses. An American cheese hasn't won one since 2016.
Well, the powerful WISC-TV weather satellite launched into space this afternoon from Cape Canaveral. The geostationary operational environmental satellite helps monitor the weather by providing imagery, atmospheric measurements, and real-time mapping from space. This is the third satellite in the WISC series. It has the most sophisticated environmental monitoring system. You can read much more about the satellite at channel3000.com. Chief Meteorologist Gary Canalti just did a special report on the WISC satellite project, and he gets pretty fired up about any cool related weather gadgets, and he joins us now.
Did you hear all the cheering in the weather office when the satellite was launched?
Pretty amazing technology, Gary.
It is, yeah, and hopefully everything goes as planned, and within about 6 months or so, it should be fully operational. Well, 3 things you need to know in our forecast. Look for another mild day tomorrow with high temperatures at least into the lower 40s, although there will be some chances for some light rain showers, maybe some flurries or freezing drizzle late tonight into tomorrow morning. We'll turn cold for Thursday, but it should be dry. Not quite as cold on Friday with temperatures back to around 40. Could see some mixed precipitation Friday night, but then some thunderstorms are in the forecast for Saturday. In fact, as we take a look, first of all, at Doppler track, you can see there might be a sprinkler or two out there, maybe a couple of flurries farther to the north and west. Most of that not reaching the ground. And again, this will be the case for tonight into tomorrow, and there might be a little better chance for a rain shower. But this is kind of interesting. Storm Prediction Center Day 5 severe weather outlook for Saturday already highlighting much of central and eastern Iowa for the possibility, at least, for some isolated severe thunderstorms. 15% chance of a severe thunderstorm within 25 miles of a point in that area, which is kind of equal to the slight risk area that we would see on a normal severe weather outlook. So something to bear in mind. There will be some thunderstorms across Iowa and southern Wisconsin. Most of the severe weather threat will be farther to the west where the storms occur during the afternoon when temperatures are a little bit warmer. By the time the storms move into Wisconsin, they will be weakening a little bit, but just something to keep an eye on. Future track shows what's going to happen beginning Friday evening. Should be cloudy, but mainly dry, and then we'll see some rain, maybe some mixed precipitation Friday night, especially north of Madison, where temperatures will be a little bit colder, but that will change over to rain and even a few thunderstorms on Saturday. Again, the thunderstorm chances will be a little higher out to the west of us, but then a second part of the storm system on Sunday night could bring some rain showers mixing with snow, and then maybe even changing over to a period of snow Sunday night into Monday morning before that moves off to the north and east. And some of the longer range computer models indicating the potential for a couple of inches of snow Sunday night into Monday of next week. The other longer range computer model, the European computer model, has snow either to the south or to the north of us. Right now, this does not look like a big storm system for southern Wisconsin, but a reminder that winter is not yet over. So our forecast calls for variably cloudy skies for tomorrow. There'll be a chance for a shower, maybe a few flurries or a little patchy freezing drizzle early in the morning when temperatures are closer to freezing. Our high temperature tomorrow, though, eventually topping out at 43 degrees. And then we drop back to 31 on Thursday. Skies will stay cloudy, start rising up to 40 on Friday. Again, that mixed precipitation possible Friday night. And now we have a high of 50 on Saturday with some showers or perhaps even a couple of thunderstorms. Turn a little colder for Sunday, and then that Sunday night into Monday morning snow chance. And that's followed by relatively quiet weather for the middle of next week. Toward the end of next week, another weather system could bring us either rain or snow. A lot of that will depend on the temperatures at that point. As we check out first horn traffic right now, the Beltline moving pretty steadily. Seeing a couple of slowdowns on the westbound direction around Fish Hatchery Road, eastbound one around Monona Drive, and another traffic merges on at Verona Road. Otherwise, travel times on the Beltline just a little bit elevated, 18 to 19 minutes either direction between University Avenue and the interstate. Heading out of Madison, no problems from the Beltline to Janesville on I-3990. Middleton to Sauk City will be a quick 16-minute commute on US 12. Downtown to Sun Prairie is an 18-minute trip on East Washington Avenue and US 151. That's your News 3 Now First Horn traffic. And we'll be right back.
News 3 Now First Horn weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
You're a hard worker. Provide for your family. Do good things in the community. Help out your neighbors. You've been there for so many others. Now, we're here for you. Your local Wisconsin energy and emergency assistance providers are working together to keep you safely in your home and your heat and power on. Apply now for a hand up.
Has the winter taken a toll on your roof? Call Feldco today and get free installation on your roofing project. Plus, no interest until 2023.
Ah, fresh coffee.
Free installation and soon. Call now.
Call 866 for Feldco.
How much money have you wasted trying to find the right shade of foundation to match your skin tone? You end up with so many unused bottles, yet you can't bear to throw them out. Now there's Color Beauty Self-Adjusting Foundation, which means you'll never search for the perfect shade again.
It's really difficult for me to find a good tone foundation. I usually purchase about 3 or 4 and sometimes mix them. Color Beauty is a game changer in finding the right foundation. You put it on your skin and it transforms into your own skin tone.
The Color Beauty foundation is so simple to put on. My skin looks great and it just looks awesome.
The key to the innovative Color Beauty formula is tiny color beads that release and blend to perfectly match your skin tone as you apply it. The foundation is white when it comes out of the bottle, but when I begin to apply it, it adjusts to blend perfectly with the color of my skin.
My biggest problem area is my cheeks right here. Color Beauty feels really light on my skin, and I can tell that it is pretty full coverage, so it looks like I don't have too much foundation on, but it is covering all my acne scars like I was saying before. I actually really love it.
It's weightless and it's full coverage, and also it literally just matches my skin as soon as I put it on. It's no work. I've never experienced a foundation like this.
Color Beauty only comes in 2 colors, light and medium. If you have fair skin or you burn easily, go with the light. If you have darker skin, go with the medium. Plus, with an SPF of 50, they're getting the highest level of sun protection in a lightweight formula. And best of all is Color Beauty's exclusive special.
Order Color's Ultimate Beauty Package today and get 40% off. That means you'll get the color adjusting foundation, the skin smoothing primer, and the fan favorite lash enhancer for thicker, longer looking lashes at 40% off. Plus, get free shipping. Visit color40.com or call the number on your screen.
You're watching News 3 Now at 5.
Welcome back. As online shopping became even more popular during the pandemic, shopping centers suffered.
Now many empty spaces are evolving to bring in new business. Michael George explains.
Like many Americans, Savon Michael's shopping habits have changed in the last 2 years.
Actually, because of the pandemic, I've not been going to the malls as much.
Malls struggling to attract shoppers as online shopping continues to grow are ready to experiment. At Tyson's Galleria outside Washington, D.C., a former Macy's department store has been transformed into a new dining and entertainment wing with options like bowling.
I think the consumer coming out of the pandemic is just looking to be out and experiencing life in a more normalized way.
In Rochester, New York, the Marketplace Mall is turning a shuttered Sears into a large healthcare facility, reimagining what a mall can be. American Dream here in New Jersey may be one model for the new shopping mall. Yes, it's got stores, but more than half the space is devoted to family attractions and entertainment. That includes a theme park with roller coasters, a water park, and an ice rink.
Shopping malls are evolving, and when you look at American Dream, this was part of the brainchild from the very beginning, is creating an experience that was different.
American Dream opened just 5 months before the pandemic, and the hope is traffic will pick up now that coronavirus cases are easing.
They've changed.
Stephanie Sigelski with the International Council of Shopping Centers says the strategy is offering an experience people can't get online.
We're seeing everything from fitness, from gyms, from movie theaters going into some of those large boxes to educational facilities.
Shopping centers finding new life by adapting to consumers who want more than just shopping. Michael George, CBS News, East Rutherford, New Jersey.
A final check on your First Warn forecast when we return.
The Big Share, an online day of giving, is March 1st. Advance social and environmental justice by supporting the 70 nonprofit members of Community Shares of Wisconsin. Even a $5 donation can make change happen. Donate now through March 1st at thebigshare.org.
My dad told me he's back into old hobbies, but it looks like he's picked up new habits for his type 2 diabetes, too.
Once weekly Trulicity is proven to help lower A1C, and it can help you lose up to 10 pounds. Trulicity is for type 2 diabetes. It isn't for people with type 1 diabetes. It's not approved for use in children. Don't take Trulicity if you're allergic to it. You or your family have medullary thyroid cancer or have multiple endocrine neoplasia syndrome type 2. Stop Trulicity and call your doctor right away if you have an allergic reaction, a lump or swelling in your neck, severe stomach pain, changes in vision, or diabetic retinopathy. Serious side effects may include pancreatitis. Taking Trulicity with sulfonylurea or insulin raises low blood sugar risk. Side effects include nausea, vomiting, and diarrhea, which can lead to dehydration and may worsen kidney problems. Ask your doctor about once-weekly Trulicity.
At Vanguard, you're more than just an investor. You're an owner with access to financial advice, tools, and a personalized plan that helps you build a future for those you love. Vanguard. Become an owner.
Here at TSR, we transform outdated or damaged basement floors into beautiful, functional, tough floors in just one day. Hi, I'm Joey with TSR Concrete Coatings, and we don't just simply coat over your old floor. We repair all the cracks, apply the base coat and chip, and then seal it with our own proprietary sealant that will never chip or peel. Our coatings are ridiculously easy to clean and will not be damaged by spills or standing water. All of our coatings are covered by our exclusive lifetime warranty, so you can rest assured that your beautiful new basement floor coating will last. And from now until March 15th, we're offering 15% off your basement floor coating. This promotion also applies to any interior commercial coating project. Visit the website or call the number below for your new floor today.
TSR, one day floor.
Finding the right ingredients for a healthy lifestyle can be tricky. That's why SSM Health and News 3 Now are here to help.
Our Time for Kids recipe for health experts use online conversations and on-air reports to answer your health questions.
So tell us, what topics would your family like to hear about? What questions do you have?
Use the handy feedback form on our Time for Kids page to share what matters most to your family's health. And together,
let's take time for kids.
The Big Share in Online Dave Giving is March 1st. Your support helps the 70 nonprofit members of Community Shares of Wisconsin advance social and environmental justice and make change happen. Donate now through March 1st at thebigshare.org.
And Gary's back. Final check.
Well, skies are mostly cloudy, but there are a few breaks in the overcast. That's the view from the WISC Skycam looking off toward the east. On Doppler track, there might be a sprinkle out there and a spot or two, but for the most part, we probably won't see much precipitation tonight. Temperatures, though, still pretty mild. 45 in Madison, 46 in Janesville. Temperatures close to 50 in southwestern Wisconsin. Look for a low of about 28 overnight with steady temperatures. High tomorrow of 43. Turn colder on Thursday, warm up on Friday, and see some thunderstorms by Saturday before turning colder again early next week.
Good to have you back at the desk with us,
Yes.
Gary.
Nice to be here.
We'll see you in 30 minutes for News 3 Now at 6. CBS Evening News is next.